What's up, everybody? It's Hijack again. Today I'm going to talk about Steve Fox's Peekaboo Stance and Flicker Stance, his two main stances that he uses in his offense and defense in Tekken 8, and how I wish that they changed them for Tekken 9. And honestly, these changes aren't even that big, so I think that would be like a possibility to put him in for Season 4 and whatnot, but that's probably asking too much anyway. But either way, let's get right into it. We're going to start off with Flicker Stance since it's easier to cover. He has less in there, and yeah, less to talk about, and therefore easier to get through it. So Flicker Stance is his back 3+4. He has many ways to go into it with attacks, and unfortunately for Steve, in previous games he was a lot safer going into it manually. Now he can actually be hit very late in the transition. And like you can cancel by hitting forward and whatnot and block, or even crouching, doing a crouch block and whatnot. But it doesn't change the fact that he is very unsafe going into Flicker manually. So what that means for him is that he typically has to use it and dart out of it, and most of the times actually like 99% of the time, or maybe 90% for sure. You're going into it with an attack anyway, which he's actually safe when he does that for the most part. Technically speaking, his back 1 is -1 on block going into Flicker, but Tekken 8 specifically has a bug where back 1 on block will allow the opponent to hit him. So let me set the opponent to block all, and then punish. Punishment settings, select punishment list, just a fast high attack, a jab. If I do back 1 on block, I could not block that. However, I could, oops, hold on. I can block it with a crouch cancel, but just straight blocking, I get hit. I can parry it, I can, weave it, I can do everything else except beat it with anything other than an armor. Now, when it comes to the moves out of Flicker, what I don't like is what they did with it. So put them back to standing. Let's just do block all. And then we'll do a crouching block. Yeah. That. This used to jail Flicker 1 down 1, and even Flicker 1-1. It used to jail, meaning that if the first hit was blocked, you had to take the block for the rest of the string. Now that they can duck, he can get ducked and launched, typically. That's typically what the opponent's going to go for if they do that. However, he does have a mid option with Flicker for 1-4-1, which is apparently 0 on hit. He also has Flicker 1-2, which is a big mid that he actually is unsafe on, and he can actually Albatross out of the attack and do Albatross 2, or even Albatross down 2. So yeah, he does have some options, but that's it. Like, he could technically throw out of it. Oh, he does have a throw, actually. Yeah, the Griffin throw. He does have an armor with back 2. He has Flicker 2, which is a mid. The armor's high. But this is where I disagree with it, is that Flicker should be a defensive stance, not an offensive one. That's the whole point of that stance of what is the Philly shell in real life. As I said in my previous video about Lionheart stance, I like it to be realism. I like realism to be present in a sense. So with Flicker stance being defensive, I feel like the armor move shouldn't be there. In a way. It should only be there if, like, well, how should I put this? It shouldn't be this move. Let me put it that way. I don't think that should be the armor move, even though he doesn't exactly have an option to change it. I think something else, just anything. Like, let me be able to do, my actual armor from it. That would be honestly better in my opinion. And as for Peekaboo, then, well, no, let's not get in Peekaboo yet. So a couple things to talk about Flicker. Yeah, so Flicker being the defensive stance, I feel like it should be more safe overall. like his Flicker 1. If you hold back, you stay in at -1. Um, Flicker 1 down 1, that's actually 0 on block. I feel like that should be not necessarily plus. I don't want to say like they should all be plus and make it seem like he's totally broken. But like just his moves overall, it should feel better for you to do and not risk too much. However, then on the flip side of it, I feel like Flicker needs more options. Like give me a Flicker down forward 2, you know, but you don't have it. He doesn't really have any options out of this. All right, so that's Flicker Stance in a nutshell. Now again, you can weave out of it. Like you can do all this other stuff. It's fine. Like I can do this and weave, like I said. It's just not enough, in my opinion, for what the Philly shell does for an actual boxer, you know? Now, we are going to move on to Peekaboo. This is his offensive stance. Steve players go into Peekaboo very often and then just, you know, crouch cancel out of it. He has a variety of strings, a variety of options here, and we're going to go over them one by one. He has his 1, 2, 1, which is unsafe on block, but you can just do 1, 2, and you're perfectly fine at 0. He has, what else does he have? He has forward 1 plus 2, which is -5 on block, but it's 12 frames, it's really fast, and it's a lot of damage on hit. There's a lot of damage there. It's a high, unfortunately, but I'll take that for the damage you get, and it's a wall splat too, so, you know, if they're just standing, or you get a punish, you get a wall splat. 35 damage, that's big damage. He has Peekaboo forward 2 and Picker forward 2, 1. Another 35 damage combo, that's natural. It is a high crush as well. That will evade highs. Most highs, not all of them. However, it's interruptible, which means if I do the full string, I can get counter hit during it. He has Flicker back 1, 1, 2, 1, which is not a bad string, but it's just not great. You'll catch some people here and there, but you won't catch a lot. He has Flicker, or I keep saying Flicker, I'm used to that now. He has Peekaboo back 2, which is his backswing blow. It's kind of decent, but I never use it. I never think to use it, because typically if I'm in Peekaboo, at that point I'm already just working rush down, trying to get in, trying to stay close. I'm not trying to do a backswing. You can start around with it though, and you might do some well with that. But either way, it is unsafe. I think it's -13. Yep. So it's unsafe. Most likely gonna get wall splatted for it. If your back's to a wall, which then you shouldn't even use it. But either way, you're gonna get hit. Down forward 1. He has the down forward 1, 1 extension, which goes into the full string. Or he has down forward 1, 2, which is natural on hit. But as you can see, the high can be ducked. However, the high can be swindlered for the mid attack, which is a counter hit launcher as well. He has all these options, and those are just the mids and highs. He also has down 1 and down 2 respectively. Peekaboo down 1 can actually be done from full crouch with down forward 1, which is nice. And it's another way to enter a Peekaboo. He also has, quarter circle forward 2 as a way to enter Peekaboo. He has 4, 2, 1 with forward. He has 2, 1 forward. And I think that's all he has now anymore to go into this stance, other than just doing it. Yeah, I think that's it. There used to be a way to go into, but maybe not. I think they did. Yeah, they patched it out. You used to be able to go into Peekaboo from Lionheart, but that's like way old tech. But with this game, you never know if it might come back. So yeah, that's really all he has for Peekaboo stuff. But the reason why I want to talk about Peekaboo mainly is being his offensive stance, that's where he should have an armor move. I'm not sure what it should be, but like potentially maybe a Peekaboo back 1+2 would be cool. Which doesn't do anything right now, but you know, that would be a cool armor move to have. Like something like mid-mid, real quick. Doesn't have to do anything special. Maybe a knockdown and no wall splat, but you know, I'm not asking for too much. I just think this should have an armor because it's his offensive stance by design. Yeah, so those are the two stances. That's really all I had to talk about for them. I just wish Peekaboo has an armor. This being a Sabaki and, you know, what it does and everything is awesome. I love Peekaboo too. I hate its range. Because if I do... Well, not that. Well, yeah, actually that. If they don't duck, there's plenty times. I did Peekaboo too. And as you see, Steve don't really go anywhere. So, like, he doesn't close distance at all. So you will oftentimes just whiff for no reason and just get launched. Or at least hit. But yeah, he can albatross out of this just naturally. He can just do it. But yeah, that's all he actually has, which is actually a lot more than Peekaboo. It's it's a lot more than Flicker. And that is why I like it so much. There's more to do with this stance. And you're very generally safe. You only have some things that are, you know, punishable. Some things you don't want to do. But overall, down 2 being cancelable into a full crouch, that's awesome. That catches a lot of people. So yeah, I just feel Peekaboo should have his armor. I know I've said it like 3 or 4 times now, but that's where the armor move should be, not in Flicker. So I would hope come Tekken 9 they do something for that. Like I said, Flicker could just be able to do his basic armor. That'd be fine. And then just give him something new for Peekaboo. That would be all I'd really ask for that. So, yeah. Those are the two stances. Those are how I would change them and alter them. Wouldn't even really be much, like I said. got him. Caught me going into Flicker there. Not what I wanted. I swung too soon. I should have clean stepped it. I needed that round, and that was a great combo. Nice twin piston. I have to swindle him. Wow. I don't know why I swung. Got him. Probably stepped that clean. I should have just let it rip there. Alright, so this last game I'm going to focus a lot on just Flicker and Peekaboo stuff together. Nothing really else. Oof, see, I can get countered hit off of that. I ducked. That was all Peekaboo and Flicker. Literally like only a few jabs and like one down for one. Like that, I had to do that there. Oof. Not what I wanted. It's when you add these stances into the base game that they become really strong. Good combo from him. Flicker jab. Has a lot of reach. Got me that punish for the win. Nice choice. I hit back too. Got the wall. See, why would he stand up? I mean, it saved him there, almost got him the win, but... Nice step. I mean, I know this is probably going to cost me a round, but... Man, he went for it. Alright. That is what it is. It just shows like how Flicker has its better offenses, or better uses on the back end, and Peekaboo has it on the front end. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. I will probably just talk about base stuff, like maybe the gimmicks, like, you know, how Tekken 8 has heat. It might be some other kind of mechanic for Tekken 9, but we'll see when that comes. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. More for that, more of this to come. I'm just messing up everything today. Don't mind me. So yeah. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.